The prince who fooled the fire-breather Prince Finn wasn't like other princes. While they practiced sword drills or polished their armor, Finn was usually covered in mud, sketching maps of the Whispering Caves or trying to teach squirrels to fetch acorns. His greatest treasure wasn't gold or jewels, but a worn leather satchel filled with oddments, sticky honeycomb shiny river stones, a coil of strong vine, and his most prized possession, a large, smooth, perfectly round riverstone painted to look exactly like a golden egg. Finn loved adventures, especially the kind that didn't involve clashing swords. Brains beat brawn every time, he'd declare, adjusting his slightly crooked explorer's hat. One day, a terrible rumble shook the kingdom. Smoke curled over the mountains. Grumblethorn, the enormous, notoriously grumpy dragon, had woken up. Worse, he'd declared the royal henhouse his new snack pantry. He'd already gobbled up half the prize-winning chickens and was demanding the golden rooster a magnificent solid gold statue awarded for the best eggs, or he'd burn the whole village. The king was frantic. The bravest knights charged up the mountain, shields raised. Whoosh! Grumblethorn breathed a plume of fire so hot it melted their armor buckles. They retreated, singed and defeated. Finn watched from the castle wall, his eyes wide, not with fear, but with a spark of an idea. He patted his satchel. "Time for a different kind of adventure," he whispered. He didn't take a sword. He took his satchel, his painted golden egg, and a large empty wicker basket. He climbed the treacherous Dragon's Tooth Mountain, not with clanking armor, but with quiet steps and a calm whistle. Grumblethorn lay coiled around the smouldering ruins of the henhouse, snoring like a volcano clearing its throat. His scales were the color of storm clouds, and smoke curled from his nostrils. Finn took a deep breath, stepped into the clearing, and cleared his throat loudly. "Ahem, excuse me, mighty Grumblethorn." The dragon's eyes snapped open, glowing like hot coals. "Ruwar, who dares disturb my nap? A snack." He lunged forward, jaws wide enough to swallow Finn whole. Finn didn't flinch. He held up his hands. "Whoa there, great one. Not a snack, a delivery." He pointed dramatically to the wicker basket at his feet. "The king sends his deepest apologies for the terrible quality of his ordinary chickens. He knows a dragon of your magnificent taste deserves only the finest." Grumblethorn paused, his head tilted. Smoke puffed thoughtfully. "Finest. Humph, his chickens were rather stringy." "Exactly," Finn said, nodding vigorously. "So, he sent you something truly special. The crown jewel of his coop. The legendary golden egg of Eversunshine." With a flourish, Finn pulled the painted river stone from his satchel. It gleamed in the sunlight, looking incredibly real, smooth, heavy, and dazzlingly gold. Grumblethorn's eyes widened. He'd heard tales of this mythical egg. The golden egg, truly. "Give it here." He lowered his massive head, nostrils flaring. "Of course, oh magnificent one," Finn said, placing the egg carefully into the wicker basket. "But ... there's a tiny catch." Legend says it only reveals its true magical warmth. When held gently in the softest part of a dragon's paw. Otherwise, it's just cold metal. Finn knew dragons were surprisingly vain about their claws. Grumblethorn puffed up proudly. Softest part, PA, my claws are weapons of destruction. But for such a treasure, double quotes carefully, with surprising delicacy for such a huge beast, he extended one enormous foreclaw. He gently picked up the wicker basket, cradling it like a precious flower pot. He peered inside at the gleaming egg. Ah, yes, Finn said, backing away slowly. Just hold it close. Feel its magic warm you. All the way down to your toes. Grumblethorn closed his eyes, a look of deep concentration on his scaly face. He was so focused on feeling the magic warmth of his new treasure that he didn't notice Finn slipping the coil of strong vine from his satchel, nor did he see Finn quickly loop one end around the base of the sturdiest pine tree nearby. Finn took a deep breath. Actually, Great Grumblethorn, he called out, his voice suddenly loud and clear. There's one more part of the legend. The golden egg's magic only works if the dragon is standing on one leg. One leg, Grumblethorn roared, startled. Instinctively, to balance the basket better, he lifted one massive hind leg off the ground. Now, Finn yanked the vine with all his might. Thwip the vine, tied cleverly to the pine tree, snapped taut around Grumblethorn's lifted ankle. The dragon, off balance and holding the basket, stumbled forward with a surprised OF. He crashed headfirst into the thick, sticky honeycomb Finn had smeared on the pine tree trunk earlier. Bleg, sticky, sweet, disgusting. Grumblethorn spluttered, his snout and one eye glued fast to the honeycomb. He dropped the basket. The painted golden egg rolled out, looking very ordinary. Finn didn't wait. He grabbed the real golden rooster statue, which he'd hidden behind a rock, and sprinted down the mountain as fast as his muddy boots could carry him, the dragon's furious honey-muffled roars echoing behind him. Back in the village, Finn presented the golden rooster. The king was amazed. You defeated Grumblethorn without a sword. Finn grinned, wiping honey not his own. From his cheek, defeated, not exactly. I just convinced him to take a very sticky nap. He'll be busy unsticking himself for days. And he learned, Finn added wisely, that the shiniest treasure isn't always the best. Sometimes it's just a painted rock, and a good plan. From then on, Prince Finn was known as the Clever Conqueror, and high on Dragon's Tooth Mountain, Grumblethorn eventually freed himself, grumbling about tricky princes and sticky trees, but secretly he kept the smooth river stone. It wasn't golden, but it was a very nice rock, and he never bothered the henhouse again. Adventures, Finn knew, were best solved with a full satchel and a clever mind.